what I have to give Yasukawa credit for, the director that brought us in, he understood that, hey, we've tried approaching it, making it like the UX look prettier, but that's not what you need. You need a very deep dive into how users actually interface with it.
Everyone is used to, well, UX in digital, visual user interfaces. And, I think that's a key mind shift that has to happen, where we're now moving into robotics and it's not necessarily that visually.
And to get into some of our process that's involved, it's where we actually, we actually went into, or I went into the whole facility and I worked directly with engineers. We actually went through step by step what a user would go through if they would have to set up the robotic cell to actually pick and place certain pallets, certain objects, and how would they go across doing that. I mean, I was recording so many videos. I'm sure you remember where I'm sitting there, where we're analyzing the videos, exactly what buttons they're pressing, what they're doing, and breaking that down into actual user journeys and what is important for them to see. What do they need to do during that course of the day if they're actually setting up these things for a facility. Most companies, they want to just jump right into the wireframes. Hey, just make this part of the interface look better using new components or some type of modern looking design system, and that's it. And that's not where you start. And this was an earlier client of ours. We've got now a more strategic approach, where if you're really starting from scratch or you're really trying to redesign something that is a very legacy, we actually talk with leadership, get in alignment with business, make them understand what empathy is and understand the user's journey, and then create your roadmap of features, what's risky, what's not. But with this, we did that more of a design sprint type of thing, where you're really hyper understanding what the users are doing, what that user journey is. And then from there, that's kind of where we got into how can we make things more optimal for them on the screen. And then again, we're adjusting, going from a button type of approach, physical buttons, to all touchscreen. And so that is something that I think we could get into, as far as when people are used to doing something, especially with like enterprise software, there's a workflow that they're used to, and if you disrupt that, they're not going to like it. So anything that you think that you're going to put in front of a user that's used to doing something for years the same way, and you disrupt that, their immediate reaction, there's a change curve of emotion, and they will go through that change curve. And how intuitive you make that is how quickly they go through that change curve of emotions. It's really imperative for us to teach the client to say, hey, look, this is probably what's going to happen. So in order to speed up learning curves, because that was another thing when you do this type of redesign, when you slow down the learning curve, that's problematic. But there are steps in which you can actually speed up, whether it's onboarding the user, getting access to documentation much easier, FAQs, things like that, so they feel more comfortable. We knew that it was weeks or even a month or two for them to actually train on these systems, because they have to learn where everything is at. But if you make it more intuitive, that learning curve is actually diminished. So that is something that we were really cognizant of as we were designing the new interface. I'm curious, in video games, cheat codes let you skip months of grinding to unlock special abilities instantly. Have you ever wished for something similar for your software challenges? What if there's a way to instantly access 20 plus years of specialized expertise instead of developing it all internally? What if you could solve in weeks what might otherwise take months or years? Would you agree that most organizations face a steep learning curve when implementing new software solutions? At my company IIIMPACT, we serve as that cheat code for companies looking to transform complex software into intuitive experiences that users love and that drive real business results. Would it be valuable to explore? And how might this work for your specific situation? Visit impact.io for a free strategy session focused on your unique challenges.